Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Pat Gray Unleashed. It's Monday. Less than 2 weeks from Christmas now. Man, the time flies by fast. Man,
Yeah.
seems like the Christmas season just began. It was right after Thanksgiving, and now it's almost here now.
A lot of people, social media, were a little concerned that the Pat Gray Unleashed program was not going to be live this week.
No.
I don't know.
Of course it's going to be live.
This is live.
This is live.
We're here.
That's where I pitch us. Well, you can't. Okay, never mind then. But we are here.
Yeah, the Falcons beat the Panthers yesterday, so that shows that we're live, because everybody knows that, right?
Falcons beat the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm just trying to show that it's live.
How bad?
I hope we're playing the right tape, and we're not playing the one where I said Panthers beat the Falcons. By the way, they beat them by 8. But Zach Wilson won your lost your BYU battle with Taysom Hill.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints crushed the Jets. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, Zach didn't play real well. No interceptions this time. But he was only 19 of 41 or something. Ugh.
Yeah, so
it's been a rough year.
Yeah.
Do you know, though, he has won Rookie of the Week twice? I mean, I guess that's not saying much, because none of the rookies are doing
not when I
very
started
well.
him on my fantasy team earlier in this year.
No, he's had maybe 2 or 3 pretty good games and shown signs of brilliance. But like always, the Jets are ruining another promising quarterback.
Yeah,
that's great.
So football is a distraction to the death and destruction.
Oh
this
my
weekend.
gosh,
so
awful, so awful. And of course, it's got to be immediately politicized by the Biden administration and by all Democrats. It's always climate change. Wait, I thought a weather event wasn't climate; that was weather. Right? That's what we're told all the time when it snows on their stupid climate summits in June.
Yeah.
Don't confuse. You're so stupid. Don't confuse weather with climate. Okay, but it's fine for them to do it every single time. And the death toll on this is going to probably be over 100, according to the Kentucky governor. And it's just so sad.
Yeah, they had a tornado there. It was on the ground for 227 miles?
Jeez.
Can you imagine that?
Oof. Ripped through Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, and Mississippi. The Kentucky town of Mayfield was just leveled, pretty much. Devastated. Courthouse lost its roof and its tower. Early estimates suggest it's the deadliest tornado strike in Kentucky in more than a century. State of emergency is declared. 181 National Guardsmen are deployed in a search for survivors. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of the families, all of the people affected by this who've lost homes and loved ones. Really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad. And I'm sure Mercury One will be providing aid.
Right.
I'm sure it's rolling out right now. And so if you'd like to contribute to that, you can go to mercury1.org. And remember, all of your contributions, 100%, go directly to help with the tragedy. It doesn't pay the administration fees, any of that. That's the October event that we just had. Well, I guess it's a while ago now. But thanks for whatever you can do.
Yeah. And you talked about how climate change is being talked about from the left, and they're still
Every time.
Removing bodies from the debris, and they try to politicize this.
Yep.
But what was that, Dr. Roy Spencer? What was the thing that he was saying? How you've got the global cooling. I believe it's a fact there that's listed. Some tweet of his from Climate Depot. They quoted Dr. Spencer. Roy Spencer.
He said, due to recent tornadoes are due to unusually cold weather. To claim global warming as a cause for tornadoes is directly opposite to the clear observational evidence.
And then
not surprising.
We have the chart that shows the year-by-year temperatures. Look at that. I mean, there it is. The trend is definitely cooler.
So that's the trend of F3 plus
that's
tornadoes.
But also, okay, so that's the number that, okay, got it. Yeah.
So we've told you over and over and over again, there are no more They aren't more intense, and they're not more frequent. They're down, if anything. But every once in a while, you have an unusual event like this.
Yeah.
It's not due to global warming.
Wow, yeah, look at that. And see, 1974, that spike there, no one's been talking about that this weekend. Remember was it Xenia, Ohio? I remember reading about the outbreak of tornadoes in a similar part of the country.
Yeah.
That was when the alarmists on the left were screaming about a global ice age coming.
Yes.
1974.
Yeah, it was.
And so now they're screaming that it's just the opposite, but yet we had this tornado outbreak.
And you see on this graph on the far right, is that this year? Or is that like last year or the year before?
Let's see.
Oh, it's to 2018. Okay, so it is 2018. Yeah. The lowest number in history.
Wow.
That's incredible. So the trend is downward, if anything. And do we have the Biden clip yet? Are those ready? Perhaps not. The bodies are still being uncovered. And the press, though, and Joe Biden aren't waiting.
No. They need to get out in front of this and make it about climate change.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. So I don't think the videos are ready yet, but maybe we can play that for you later. Just the buffoonery, and it's just despicable. It's despicable how you have to spend time swatting at this stuff every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. It's really madness. Also, this is good stuff. The Omicron variant that is sweeping the world, and South Africa has said, yeah, there's still no evidence that it's severe. It's still been pretty mild. Supposedly in the U.S., there's one case. I think there's one case here of somebody who's in serious condition.
Yeah, one person in the hospital, 0 deaths from it.
None. None. And yet, there feels like there's more panic over this than there was the Delta variant.
Well, when you got the press as a willing accomplice for those who are in office, then yeah it's going to seem that way.
In Israel, they've done a study now about the vaccinated people and how they're doing with this Omicron variant.
Is it defeating it?
Killed it completely. It's just so amazing. Nobody in it. Well, no. Okay, it's the exact opposite of that. The 2 shots, so what used to be considered fully vaccinated has no effect on Omicron. No effect on Omicron. Huh. That's weird. Now, the 3rd shot, the booster shot, does provide some protection, 4 times less than the protection it provides for the Delta variant, but still some protection. So there you go.
Well, let me run out and get it now.
Yeah. You want to get 3 at a time. There was a guy, where was he? Australia, who got 10 in one day. He got 10 shots in one day.
Yeah, it was New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay.
Yeah, before we move on, though, from Omicron, I found this fun fact. Of the cases in the United States of people who have confirmed Omicron, it's 79% have been fully vaxxed.
Jeez.
So...
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Omicron doesn't care if you're vaccinated or not.
Yeah, and
it doesn't care.
The guy in New Zealand who just wants to participate in society and be a good citizen, he is getting paid from people who these people want to participate, right? And so they're paying him
to
go and get the shot for them and get the card filled out in their name. And so what did he get? How many shots?
10.
10 in one day.
One day. Not smart. That's got to affect your body. I'd like to hear how his arm felt the next day.
Yeah, sir.
And whether he grew the first 3 tails. He got the first, you got the second, and I got the 3rd tail.
But you get the 9, and then you get the 10th one free. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's kind of how you get a little punch card as you're going from pharmacy to pharmacy. But yeah.
That's a brave guy or a stupid guy.
It's a...
Stupid.
What a mad world here.
Yeah, and it's really a shame that, that we've come to this point where people think this is necessary. Yeah, I'm going to pay somebody to get that shot for me. Let me tell you about Moink. Take a minute and tell you about the best meat on the market. The best meat that you can possibly buy. And it's more affordable than what you're going to find on your grocery store shelves. This steak is phenomenal. If you could see and taste the steak from Moink Box, well, you wouldn't be able to because we would have eaten it already. So it would be gone. But it is delicious. If you could smell it, you'd order it right now.
Oh, it's so good.
Moink Box delivers grass-fed, grass-finished beef and lamb, pasteurized pork and chicken, wild-caught Alaskan salmon direct to your door, helping family farms become financially independent outside of big agriculture. Their animals are raised outdoors. Their fish swim wild in the ocean. And Moink meat is free of antibiotics, hormones, sugar, and all the other crap that you would find in prepackaged meat in the aisle.
And I know you're really talking about the meat there, but the salmon cannot be understated. It's so good.
I consider salmon meat. Good. Do you not?
Fish.
Yeah. Fish is meat, isn't it?
No. It's fish.
Yeah, it's meat. You're eating the flesh of something.
Okay.
It's meat.
All right. Yeah, I guess.
But you can consider it just a different category.
I just
if you
know
want to.
that
That's
Moink Box, their salmon doesn't swim in a toilet.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Or in one of those dumb farms.
It swims in a river, and then they're by the river. Okay, the Moink guys are by the river, and on the other side of the river are the bears, right?
Right.
And the Moink guys catch the fish, and then they point at them like,
got another one for you.
Yeah, grizzly.
You're not going to get this one.
Wait, bears can swim? And then they start swimming after the Moink guys with the salmon.
Now, they guarantee that you will say, oink, oink, I'm just so happy I got moinked.
Wait a minute. That's a guarantee?
That's what they guaranteed that, yeah. So,
and
you better say it.
If you don't,
you'll love it.
What happens?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. They don't say what the guarantee is backed by in this particular case. Join the Moink movement today. Go to moinkbox.com, MOINK box.com /unleashed right now. And you'll get, because you listen to this show, you're going to get a year's worth of ground beef for free. That's 1 year of the best ground beef you'll ever taste for a limited time. Spelled MOINKBOX, moinkbox.com /unleashed.
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. Start this week. 888-900-3393. We were telling you about Biden's BS about
Biden's BS.
Bringing up the climate change situation again with another tragedy. And here it is.
Does this say anything to you about climate change? Is this
Does this say anything to you about climate change, sir?
Well, all that I know is that the intensity of the weather across the board has some impacts as a consequence of the warming of the planet.
No.
And the climate change. The specific impact on these specific storms, I can't say at this point.
Oh.
I'm going to be asking
then
the
maybe you should just
EPA
say
and others to take a look at
has
that.
nothing
But
to
the
do with
fact
it.
is that we all know everything is more intense when the climate is warming. Everything.
It's not true.
And obviously it has some impact here, but I can't give you a quantitative read on that.
First of all, it's warmed so little that it hasn't intensified anything. And if you look at the charts and the graphs and you talk to meteorologists, if you cared to find out the actual scientific data, you would find that there are no indications of more intense or more frequent tornadoes or hurricanes. In fact, they've been on the downside for the last, 20 years, several decades, actually. It is not uncommon for hurricanes to pop up when they did have some extreme sort of weather. I mean, it was way colder than normal. And when the cold hits the warm, then you've got a problem a lot of times. And that's what happened. But to blame the extra cold on global warming just seems so ludicrous to me.
Yeah, let's say you believe in climate change actually doing this. There's a time and a place, and that wasn't the time. He could have said, you know what, we'll look into that later, And he kind of said that, but he also made the point of, well, it's definitely getting warmer and more intense weather. Bro, you were born during the Dust Bowl, all right?
Ah, right.
Okay, so...
The hottest decade in the history of the United States.
As a point of reference, old man, it's been worse in your lifetime.
Oh, that's for sure. That's right. You were born during the 30s. Huh. Now, you know what they've...
Thank you.
You know what they've done is they've gone back and they've changed
did they?
the temperatures. Yeah, they've lowered the temperatures in the 30s. Why? Because they want to make these temperatures look worse than those temperatures were. Because it doesn't make any sense to say, well, we're the second hottest decade in history after the 1930s. 1930s? Why were they hotter than now? Because global warming.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah, that's what they'll tell you.
So then did it get better for 70 years?
Yeah.
And now it's back to its old dastardly ways?
Sure. Yes, something like that.
Because the crops weren't growing 70 years ago or 90 years ago, right? But they seem to be doing pretty well right now.
They really are.
So I'm a little confused.
Yeah, so, more food is not a problem. Growing more food actually kind of helps. It's kind of a weird concept. Wait, more food is better? People don't die of starvation that way? That seems good, actually. Now, if it gets 10 degrees hotter, then you got a problem. But 0.9 degrees, that's not going to kill us.
It's not even that.
Yeah, it is actually less than that. And it's over the last century.
And remember, we've said this. Think of the Soviet era in Russia, and you're a government employee forced to man a weather station in Siberia.
Yeah.
Well, now that those scientists are no longer forced to be there, then these have been abandoned weather stations.
Oh, that's true.
So now the global average has thus gone up when you're not factoring in any weather stations from Siberia.
Yeah, there are so many disclaimers.
Yeah, and where they're putting the thermometers now, near rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
Go on and on.
All right, let me tell you about Built Bars. If you like a good snack throughout the day, but you don't want to pack on the pounds, Built Bars are the way to go. The Built Bars and the Built Puffs, so good, so delicious. They satisfy the cravings that you have, and you don't have to feel guilty afterwards because they're all 180 calories or less, 4 to 5 grams of sugar, 4 to 5 net carbs, and 18 grams of protein. So actually, they are good for you. And you're going to love the taste. You're going to become addicted to these things. And now you can get your Built Bars even faster. The new URL, I guess it's not so new anymore, but it's just built.com.
It's faster.
Faster, way faster. How long did it take you to type in the bars?
Well, me, I'm just, this is
those
how
extra
I type.
4 letters.
Yeah.
Could have taken like an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. But you don't have to worry about that now because it's just built.com. BUILT.com. Use the promo code PAT15. You'll save 15% off your first order. Promo code PAT15 for 15% off at built.com.
Unleashed.
In Israel, I think we mentioned the Israeli study already, briefly, but In Israel, they're saying that third booster is really necessary if you want to have any protection at all against the Omicron variant. Not the case with the Delta variant. For some reason, probably because it's learned, right? It learned how to avoid the virus, and it did. And so now they're saying that in Israel, it hasn't mattered at all if you only have 2 shots. You don't have any protection. None. So really good news there.
But just keep doing what they're saying.
Yeah, right. Just get the third vaccine and then the fourth and then the fifth, and then they'll just tell us, okay, yearly. You just say it's not a problem because you can get it at the same time you get your flu shot. So just get updated every single year. And Anthony Fauci, Dr. St. Anthony Fauci of DCC was asked about it over the weekend.
Oh, good.
Here's what he says about the booster situation.
If it becomes necessary to get yet another boost, then we'll just have to deal with it when that occurs. But I'm hoping from an immunological standpoint that third shot of an mRNA and the second shot of a J&J will give a much greater durability of protection than just the 6 months or so that we're seeing right now.
I love his attitude on our behalf. If it's necessary to do it every year, you'll just have to deal with it. And you'll just get it every year. So what?
Yeah, that's how they sold it from the beginning, right? Hey, you're going to have to get this every year.
No, they actually did
Wait a
not.
minute. I thought that's what it was.
No, they said well, in the very beginning, they said 15 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah.
Those 15 weeks turned into more than 15 months. We're now at, I don't know.
Pushing 2 years.
2 years. Right. Next month, it'll be 2 years. So congratulations on that. So then it was, okay, no, not the 15-day thing didn't really work to flatten the curve. But wait until we get that vaccine. Oh, man. You want to get back to regular life?
Yeah.
That vaccine will allow us to do it.
Okay.
Finally be able to toss that mask.
Nice.
Okay, well, the vaccine's here now. Yeah, I know. But, for your own safety and everybody else's, you have to wear the mask and get the vaccine. Okay? But, once you do that and you have the mask on, then you're going to be totally safe. Well, okay, no. If you get the third shot, so you got the mask and the third shot.
Yeah, we already got the booster.
The booster will be the third shot. And then if that doesn't hold up, there might be a fourth shot, but we'll have to see. But that's all. So don't worry about it. It's just unbelievable.
Honestly, what have they said? What have they done? What have they been right about that has given you any confidence to listen and do what they're saying now? I don't understand.
What have they been right about? That's a really good question. Anyway, another day, more hypocrisy from the elite. This is from New York. COVID surge is back, and so is its mask mandate. Facing a cold weather surge in COVID-19 infections, New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced on Friday that masks will be required in all indoor places unless the businesses or venues implement a vaccine requirement.
Oh.
I see. So what happens right after that? Right after that mandate from her, she goes maskless
there she is.
to a Broadway play.
Oh, right there on stage, shoulder to shoulder with everybody.
Yeah, no mask.
No.
Not wearing a mask at all.
She's good, right? They like her?
Oh, they like her less than Cuomo already.
Really?
That's how unpopular she is. That is
good job, New York. Man, you just guys keep hitting home runs.
She tweeted herself out, too, with that picture. I mean, that's her tweet. She's proud of it. Honored to join the BK Dems for their annual holiday party and receive somebody's endorsement for my campaign as governor. That's great. How fantastic is that? These hypocrites show exactly who they are every single time. You would think she might be embarrassed to just have issued another mask mandate and then go to Broadway and show up without a mask.
That's what de Blasio used to do.
He did. That's what What's-Her-Face in Chicago did.
Yeah.
And What's-Her-Face in Michigan.
It never ends.
Doesn't.
Gavin Newsom in California.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on and on. Nancy Pelosi.
Same rules don't apply to them. We just need to figure that out.
So should we
They're
run
better
for
than we
office
are.
just so we can have more freedom then?
Yeah, but you'll never make it because they're just better than you, and you'll never make it to the to the office. So, yeah. I wish it could be different, but it can't.
It can't,
Keith, because you're a little person, and so am I.
Who wants to live in D.C. anyway?
Yeah, that's true. Jeez. Last I checked, Broadway plays are indoors, right? Because
you're talking to a guy who just
pretty
doesn't
sure they're inside, so
get
you
to too many of those.
Would be wearing the mask. There's no excuse. I'll bet if she's asked about that, she'll come up with some stupid ass thing.
Yeah.
Jeez. Somebody on social media posted this. This is Delta, Omicron, media.
It's an anagram,
control.
Right? Is that what that's called?
I think so, yeah.
Something fun?
And there it is. There's all your connections.
So if you take the words Delta and Omicron and rearrange the letters to get media control, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's about right.
Okay. And that's exactly what's happening to us. We're just being controlled. They can't handle going back to the way it was because they're so in love with the power that they have right now.
But it's going to get better, right?
Oh, are you kidding me?
It's going to totally get better.
Yeah.
You want to glimpse into the future?
Yes.
With this comedian guy, Tyler Fischer?
All right.
Let's go out 2 years into the future.
He shows us 2 years into the future.
Watch this. Here we go. Get this.
Hey guys, it's me, the government. Sorry to pop in unexpected. Just doing my job, checking in. Okay, everybody vaxxed in here? I'm kidding, it's Brooklyn, New York, of course. All right, but you got your boosters? All 15? Let me see. Let's see those Band-Aids. Herpes vaccine? Pull the pants down. Great. You're the dad in the house. I just need to see proof of vasectomy. As you know, we can't have babies anymore. We're doing it for the planet. We're trying to change that temp, bring the temps down. Okay, an all-white family, I see. Ugh. Awkward. Can we get a black or Latino friend in here, maybe for dinner? Include them. Let's be inclusive, all right? Let's get the POC. Let's pock it up. All right, great. You drinking coffee? I hope it's sustainable. Great. All right, guys. Well, I just don't want to be a bother. I'll get out of your way, and I'll check back in with you in about 4 seconds.
All right. Then he goes to 2039.
Yeah.
We get a future look.
Ooh.
18 years into the future now. Here's what it's like in 2039.
Hey, guys. I'm here in quarantine camp again. This time they sent me to Australia as a punishment for saying I thought maybe the government wants to keep the pandemic going a little longer. And I shouldn't have said that because I lost my job and my family and, well, I'm in prison. But today they let me walk outside today without a mask on as long as I stay at least 5 miles away from the next prisoner. It's pretty cool. I miss that smell. Anyhow, Lord President Fauci said we might be back to normal by the year 2096. I'll be long dead, but I hope someone gets to enjoy it. Anyways, let's say the COVID prayer. Do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing. Jab, 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 jab. Liquid vaccine. We have to drink 5 cups a day. Shh.
So true.
It's probably not far from the truth.
No, it's not.
Lest we stand up and say no. No, thank you. And more people are. You especially look at Europe and what they're doing with their protests and demonstrations. I mean,
Turkey.
Literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are showing up.
Yeah, add Turkey to the list. They had a big demonstration over there. Look at that. Yeah, they're standing up against vaccine passports.
Look at that crowd.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it goes on and on. I love it. But why aren't those crowds in America, like you just said?
Yeah, why? Why? You've got a country named after Thanksgiving dinner that is out there protesting.
I don't
Not
know
us.
That. Is that?
Yeah, they're named after what we eat for Thanksgiving.
Should I fact check?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
No?
You don't. There's no need to. It's just a waste of time. You know, you can take that to the bank.
Yep.
All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Think they'll ever build a road between Keith's house and Pat's house?
No! Please, no! No! No!
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on The Blaze.
Got some tweets here. Pissed off Smurf tweets. Just like with mass shootings, the left can't wait to turn any tragedy into tactics to push their agenda. No doubt about it. As we see with these tornadoes and the climate change nonsense. Talons and Arrows tweets, every time the temperature goes up 1/1000th of a degree, the talk of socialism goes up tenfold. Or to say it like Zuzu, every time the temperature goes up 1/1000th of a degree, the talk of socialism goes up tenfold.
That's right.
That's right. That's right, Zuzu. Attaboy. Clarence, attaboy.
Can't leave us hanging like that.
No, I wasn't going to.
It felt like it.
Before the break, we saw the vaccine passport protest in Turkey. Here's what's happening elsewhere around the world. In England, we got Boris Johnson.
Oh, he's good.
Doing this.
No one should be in any doubt. There is a tidal wave of Omicron coming. And I'm afraid it is now clear that 2 doses of vaccine are simply not enough to give the level of protection we all need.
Right.
But the good news is that our scientists are confident that with a 3rd dose, a booster dose, we can all bring our level of protection back up. I know there will be some people watching who will be asking whether Omicron is less severe than previous variants and whether we really need to go out and get that booster. And the answer is yes, we do. Do not make the mistake of
thinking
answer the
other question, though.
Can't hurt you, can't make you and your loved ones seriously ill.
Wow.
Scare me more.
Yeah. There's little evidence to suggest that it's as virulent or as severe as Delta was. In fact, there's evidence to the contrary so far. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this thing will take a turn and it'll wipe us all off the face of the earth. I don't know. But right now, they're calling it akin to the common cold.
So as of now, right, let's say you have a long to-do list for a weekend, right? You got a lot you got to get done. And the timing just works out that, like, say, Friday after work, you realize you've got the Omicron, and next thing you know is you want to sleep. You can't get your list done.
Right, that's true.
Now
it'll make you, in some cases, extremely tired. So, yeah. Well,
could have a runny nose too.
You could.
Don't discount that.
Yeah,
okay?
and some mild body aches.
So
yeah.
Again, if the timing it hits on a Friday,
it might wipe out your weekend a little bit.
Your weekend is shot.
Yep. But Pathead expatriate down under sent us this tweet from Australia. Last week, Pat and Keith played a clip of an Aussie guy singing a song, "You Can Shove Your New World Order Up Your Ass."
I think he was talking about vaccine mandates, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he said, yeah. You can shove your vaccine mandates.
Stick your vaccine mandates up your ass. You can
watch your language in public, sir.
Up your ass. Okay. You can stick your vaccine mandates. Stick your vaccine mandates. You can stick your vaccine mandates up your ass.
And then they leave.
They just leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what was this
so
guy
he says,
saying?
I just walked past a park where there was a protest, and that guy was singing that song again.
Awesome. So now they've changed the lyrics. The guy changed the lyrics. He updated them to New World Order.
I guess so. Maybe, do we have the...
No, I don't know. I'm just from the tweet.
We didn't get a video from him, so...
Yeah, where's the video? Expatriate down under?
Where's the video?
Huh. In the time you took to type that tweet, you could have hit record.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison wishes more people in his country would get the vaccine.
I appreciate greatly the work done by all the premiers and chief ministers in seeing those national vaccination rates get to where they are. We've got one more state to get through that gate.
Did I say Austrian or did I say Australian? Because this is definitely Australian.
I think you said Australian.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, but listen, it's important.
One more state to get through that gate. It's a bit like, getting a seat through the gate.
What was that?
Into the run.
It's a bit like getting the sheep through the gate.
There it is.
There you have it.
They're the rancher. We're the sheep. They know better. They got to herd us along. And listen to his attitude here. That's exactly what he believes. That we are sheep and we've got to be herded like dumb animals. By the way, 75% of Australians are fully vaccinated.
Not good enough.
61% in the U.S. 75%. And they keep treating this like nobody's vaccinated.
Right.
Jeez. I am really thankful I don't live in Australia. I'm sure it's a beautiful country. I'm sure it's very wonderful this time of year especially. But I would not. I don't know what I'd do with losing my freedom like this.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared to move under those circumstances.
In the past, when you would think of Australia, you would think of, the crazy wild insects and creatures and stuff, the big spiders and all this stuff. As like, that was my instinct. Just like, I'm not going there. And now all I think of is the government, man. And just how
completely out of control,
heavy-handed they are with these mandates. No, thank you.
Yeah. They've just come out where men were beaten.
Oh yeah,
for not wearing masks. Where this video shows apparently.
Watch this.
Some men apparently being beaten because they don't have masks on.
Yeah.
Police describe Strikeforce Raptor as proactive.
Now these knees. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
Okay,
a specialised squad that targets the criminal activity of outlaw bikie gangs.
Oh, they go after biker gangs. They go after biker gangs, Pat. That's what they do.
But on this day in September, they were cracking down on offending of a different kind. A group of men who were not wearing face masks. They were Khalid, Hussein and Fadis Raker, along with 2 others. One is arrested before a melee erupts and backup arrives.
They didn't do anything. They just didn't have a mask on.
The men say they went into the shop to buy some.
They have.
Raptor officers say they were attacked first.
They just bought the
Khalid
masks.
Raker used both hands to take hold of the
This is a police
vest
allegation.
and threw a flurry of closed fist punches to the officer's head and torso. On the ground, he continued to use his arms, elbows and knees to strike police.
Oh, no.
But security and phone video contradict that. And all charges of assaulting police and resisting arrest were withdrawn by police.
Oh, well
As
then.
a result of the charges being laid, the men spent the night behind bars. They're now seeking legal costs and are likely to sue police for what they say was an illegal arrest, which could cost the force tens of thousands of dollars.
How much?
Leonie Ryan, 7 News.
Jeez.
Tens of thousands?
You imagine a beating like that because you don't have a mask on?
Yeah. And I can't imagine
crazy.
Only getting tens of thousands of dollars for my trouble either.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Germany, we've got this going on.
Oh, watch the police with sticks. They're measuring the distance between people. Make sure they're social distancing properly. Are you for real? Look at this nonsense. Look at this guy. Checking.
They literally have a 6-foot pole, and they're putting it between people to see if they're properly distanced.
I'm glad they're getting mocked too.
I just can't take it.
Right? It goes on and on.
Yes, it does. And in Austria, this is Austria, they've ended lockdown restrictions.
Hey, all right. Nice.
For vaccinated people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're unvaccinated, you can still stay home and do whatever it is you do in your home. And so that's fun. That's fun. Now, you can't have anybody come visit you. And you can't go visit anybody.
Okay.
But you can stay in your home at this point. And then I'm sure eventually that won't be good enough either. We're going to have to separate you from all civilization and put you into a separate camp somewhere out there by yourself. So
wait a minute. They'll leave me alone?
Yeah, in the camp out there by yourself? Yeah, they'll leave you alone. Well, there'll be other people like you who are milling around in there, but at least you'll have some solitude.
Okay.
Right? That'll be great.
If the government will leave me alone, I'm at least listening.
Let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. Standing up for what you believe in can be challenging, but there are basic things you can do to stand up for your principles, like buying from companies that believe what you and I believe. We need to stick together now more than ever. And there's been one mobile company willing to stand with you in defense of liberty and religious freedom since 2012. It's Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They offer broad nationwide coverage. They obviously use the same towers as all the major carriers. There's like 4 of them, and they all use them. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, and their 100% U.S.-based customer support team provides exceptional customer support. More importantly, Patriot Mobile shares your values and supports organizations fighting for religious freedom and constitutional rights, sanctity of life, and our veterans and first responders. So go to patriotmobile.com/Pat, or you can call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. They always have special discounts for veterans and first responders, too, and for multi-line accounts. Support a company that loves America and shares your values. It's Patriot Mobile. patriotmobile.com/Pat.
Mr. Cratchit. Pat Gray Unleashed.
And welcome to it. 888-900-3393. If the COVID stuff weren't bad enough, how about the inflation, too? We had that on top, and now you got a really tasty situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we show this on Friday, the inflation graph over the years?
No. We found this right after the show.
Okay. Look at this. It starts in 1913.
Okay.
And
look at those Coolidge years. Why don't you?
Yeah. The Coolidge years.
The roaring 20s.
Went down. Huh. Interesting.
You cut government spending. It's amazing.
Jeez. And then, of course, the roller coaster ride, mostly up, mostly way up. And then, of course, it goes down for a while and stays down from, let's see, that's about the early 50s maybe? No, mid-50s on to about, well,
it ramps up in the 70s, as you can see.
Ramped up a little bit in the 70s.
A little bit, quite a bit.
Yeah.
That'll happen when you remove yourself from the gold standard.
Then it came back down. Reagan got it under control again. It was pretty good throughout the Clinton years.
Yeah, so look, in the last, 30 years or so, it's been pretty steady.
It's been steady, and then bam.
Wow, look at there. The very end of the line there's Joe Biden.
Shoots right back up. That's great. So good.
It's fun.
That's good. And of course, whose fault is it? Well, Jen Psaki is going to tell you whose fault it is.
Oh, really? You guys have been consistent on your argument as it relates to Build Back Better and inflation now for weeks, if not months. Senator Manchin has been consistent in his position for weeks and not months. Obviously, something is going to need to change in that dynamic on the senator's side of things for him, I presume, to support Build Back Better. What changes in your argument that resonates with the senator, given his long-held positions here on inflation?
Well, we will certainly let the senator speak for himself. He will, of course, be speaking with the president, as the president alluded to early next week. And I would expect the president will convey much of what we've conveyed publicly, that while we've seen costs increase in some areas, and we've seen them move in a good direction in some areas as well. What we need to do now is think about what we're going to do about rising costs. What is our plan to address rising costs?
And what is it?
You saw every single Republican in the House vote against Build Back Better. What were they voting against? Yes, they were voting against the president's agenda. They were also voting against lowering costs. They were voting against lowering costs for childcare, lowering costs for elder care, lowering costs for health care. And I think the not argument, because he has a very good working relationship with Senator Manchin, but I think the case he will make is that this is exactly the time to pass this bill and move it forward so that we can lower costs for the American people on all of those topics, including insulin and areas that really force American families to pinch pennies.
Wow, that is incredible that she's blaming Republicans who have absolutely no power. Republicans who control nothing. Not the House, not the Senate, not the executive branch. But it's their fault?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. And it's because they don't support his asinine socialist agenda and his Build Back Better plan, which would fundamentally transform completely the United States of America. Because they don't support that, they're in favor of inflation.
You got it. What else is there?
I don't know. No, I didn't have any.
I thought
alternative
Jen was
there
pretty
at all.
clear.
Yeah, she was pretty clear.
Okay.
She really was. It's the Republicans' fault. All right. The minority party, who has zero power right now, really, it's their fault. Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Thank you, Jen. That was...
It's also their fault there's tornadoes in the Midwest, too.
Yeah, it is their fault because they haven't voted for the climate change measures that they've been screaming about for decades now.
I'm glad you're on board.
You know, if we don't change from these fossil fuels, this planet's going to be destroyed in about 8 years now. I think we're down to 8 years.
Are we down to 8?
Yeah. Yeah, so. It's agonizing. It really is agonizing. No wonder nobody likes this guy, including now, really, some Democrats are not really thrilled with him. They just don't have an alternative, so they continue to support him. But what's the alternative if they get rid of him? If, like, he were to be impeached, there's no chance that anybody else could take the reins and, well, maybe AOC or Bernie Sanders. Maybe they're radical enough that would please the left. I don't know. But Biden is running out of groups of voters that he can count on a day when his chief of staff was spinning a claim that the president is delivering the fastest economic recovery in history. A new survey of Main Street showed small businesses running from Biden and the sky-high inflation under his watch.
Yeah.
2 different Zogby polls showed that small company executives are losing faith in Biden, including one showing overwhelming opposition to his reelection in 2024.
Uh-oh.
Does President Biden deserve to be reelected? Yes, 39%. No, 61%.
61-39. Small business owners say Biden should not be reelected.
Yeah. That's big.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now, Hillary Clinton, she's got a warning for us, right?
Oh, yes, she does.
On 2024?
I'll have to play that for you.
Oh.
After the top here.
Can't wait to hear what she has to
Oh,
say.
she's brilliant as always. I think you're going to be really dazzled by what she has to say. Coming up on Pat Gray Unleashed. Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about OmegaXL. You have 360 joints from your neck down each vertebrae of your back, your arms, hips, knees, feet. 360 joints that take a beating just with daily activity and, of course, aging. And sometimes it hurts during the day, and sometimes it wakes you up even at night. Now, for me, I finally broke down and tried OmegaXL. And after a week of building up in my system, I got some relief. And after 2 weeks, the pain was just gone. You can get your life back. You can be able to do things again that you haven't been able to do for who knows how long since you've been in pain. It doesn't have to be that way. OmegaXL replaces some of the SPMs that we lose with age and with activity. And so it restores them and rejuvenates your joints and your muscles. Plus, when you have inflammation in a joint over a period of time, that just starts to break it down. It's just not good for you long term. So give this a try. See if it works for you as well. Just like it did for me. OmegaXL. When you buy your first bottle at OmegaXL.com/Pat, they'll throw in a second one for free. OmegaXL.com/Pat or 800-844-4888.
I will keep my promise. I will live in the past, present, and the future. The spirits of all three will strive within me. Oh, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this. I say this on my knees, Jacob Marley. On my knees.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So Hillary Clinton was on Sunday morning's NBC program Today, and I don't know why people keep interviewing her. Who cares? Really? Are you still with that old dinosaur? Can we stop? Just stop with Hillary Clinton. But they won't. And so here's what she had to say. This is chilling.
If I were a betting person right now, I say Trump is going to run again. I mean, he seems to be setting himself up to do that. And if he's not held accountable, then he gets to do it again. I think that could be the end of our democracy. Not to be too, pointed about it, but I want people to understand that this is a make or break point. If he were, or someone of his ilk, were once again to be elected president, and if especially he had a Congress that would do his bidding, you will not recognize our country.
So given everything you've just
I already
described,
don't.
Do you ever
Okay?
have moments of responsibility?
Pause it for a second. You will not recognize our country? You mean like, I don't know, now? Like both times when we've had these radical Democrats in the last 2 decades, from Obama to Biden now, who have transformed our country into something that we can't even recognize. And we're not a democracy. Okay? This is not a democracy. So I'm not really bothered by the fact that it will end it because we aren't one. We ended it at the beginning. Jeez. That's why Franklin said, we've got a republic, if you can keep it. Now, we've kept it for a pretty long time, 245 years. But, man, these people are doing everything they possibly can to take it away from us and turn it into some kind of socialist, democratic hellhole. They're doing everything they can to accomplish that.
And Hillary's warning wasn't just for Trump if he gets elected. If he gets elected,
or his ilk.
I mean,
obvious shot at DeSantis.
Oh, what? Maybe Chris Christie.
Yeah,
because he's rumored to want to run, and I saw this tweet. Somebody quoted someone close to Chris Christie. It says, "The former New Jersey governor is considering a run for the 2024 president, and he's hungry." I mean, that was
he's hungry.
That was a quote. It's like,
you can't say that about a fat man.
That terrifies me. I would much rather him be president than to be nearby when Chris Christie is hungry.
Who knows how many Americans he'll eat along the way to satisfy that hunger?
Or
Who knows?
Or maybe he said voters are hungry. I don't know what he said, but you just didn't need to use that word in relation with Chris Christie.
No. Let's see the rest of what Hillary had to say.
Or even guilt about what's happened?
Of course, because I tried to warn people. I tried to
Did you?
make the case that this was really dangerous. The people he was allied with, what they were saying, what he might do. And I do think, but for Jim Comey and the stunt he pulled 10 days before the election, I would have won. I feel terrible about not stopping him and the people around him. But I feel like now everybody can see for themselves what kind of leader he is.
Yeah,
and
sure can.
Clearly, there were people who liked what they saw.
Right.
Despite what I see as the real dangers to our country, they turned out and voted for him. And he's trying to get it set up so that will happen again for him, even if he loses, as he did twice, the popular vote.
So what do you see as the state of the Democratic Party right now?
I think that it is a time for some careful thinking about what wins elections, and not just in deep blue districts where a Democrat and a liberal Democrat or so-called progressive Democrat is going to win.
Yeah, you're going to come and deal with.
I understand why people want to argue for their priorities. That's what they believe they were elected to do. So, look, I'm all about having vigorous debate. I think it's good, and it gives people a chance to be part of the process. But at the end of the day, it means nothing if we don't have a Congress that will get things done, and we don't have a White House that we can count on to be sane and sober and stable and productive.
Wow. Coming from a woman who, at minimum, is responsible in large part for what happened in Benghazi. A woman who defied all the rules and laws about her servers while she was in office. A woman who allegedly has a death list.
Yeah, hold on. Can we revisit something here? She mentioned Comey. If not for Comey, 10 days before the election, pulling the stunt he did, I would have won. I regret that I wasn't able to stop him. First of all, she was a private citizen at that point. You're going to stop the FBI director? What does that mean? What does that mean? Threats? Does that mean getting some sort of quid pro quo? I mean, would he be in a park?
Yeah, and wouldn't
with
this
his
be
glasses nearby?
A logical question to ask her as a follow-up? Wait a minute, you said you were going to stop him. How did you plan to do that?
Yeah.
How would you do that to the FBI director?
Come on.
Wow.
What difference at this point does it make?
Right.
It is our
That's true.
job to figure out what happened and do everything we can to prevent it from ever happening again, Senator. Now, honestly, I will do my best to answer your questions about this, but the fact is that people were trying in real time to get to the best information.
Were they? Were they? Were they trying in real time to get to the best information? Yeah, I don't think so. I do not think so. They were hung out to dry.
So when was she in front of Congress?
For Benghazi?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Maybe it had to be 2014-ish.
Well, so it happened on September 11th, 2012. 2012. Right?
Yeah, and it took a while, though.
Yeah, I think, okay, so here's a story kind of dated around May of 2013. So let's just say 9 months removed from it. We're 5 months removed from the 2016 election, Hillary Clinton. At this point, you talking about it, what difference does it make? Could you shut up? Go away, please?
Yeah.
My gosh, stop it.
Yeah, it has been, a long time since she lost to Trump. And she's still doing the same stuff. Saying the same things.
Let it go. Let it go. I'm sorry that really cool machines weren't available 4 years prior for you, okay? But you're going to have to let it go. Oh.
She's never going to let it go.
No, because she thinks it's her birthright.
Yeah, big
it's
time.
Our fault that
Which
she's
is
not president.
Why we had that clip of her last week crying about what her mom wrote that she was going to read on election night after she won because she believed that was her destiny, that was her birthright. And that's why she broke down and cried, because she didn't realize it. She didn't accomplish it. And it drives her insane.
Sure does.
Meanwhile, we got some good news from Fox.
Yeah, this was unexpected yesterday morning.
Yeah. Yesterday morning, Chris Wallace had a big announcement for us. Here's what he said.
After 18 years, this is my final Fox News Sunday.
Good.
It is the last time, and I say this with real sadness, we will meet like this.
Oh, wow.
18 years ago, the bosses here at Fox promised me they would never interfere with a guest I booked or a question I asked, and they kept that promise.
Oh, good.
I have been free to report to the best of my ability, to cover the stories I think are important, to hold our country's leaders to account. It's been a great ride. We've covered 5 presidential elections, interviewed every president since George H.W. Bush, traveled the world sitting down with France's Emmanuel Macron and Russia's Vladimir Putin. And I've gotten to spend Sunday mornings with you.
Wow.
It may sound corny, but I feel we've built a community here.
No, we didn't.
There's a lot you can do on Sunday mornings. The fact you've chosen to spend this hour with us
I haven't.
is something I cherish.
I never made that
But after
choice.
18 years, I have decided to leave Fox. I want to try something new, to go beyond politics to all the things I'm interested in. I'm ready for a new adventure, and I hope you'll check it out.
Nah, I don't think so.
You know where he's going? He's
CNN Plus.
But
CNN
I'm trying to get away
Plus.
from politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's weird. I guess, who was it? Oh, it was Jonah Goldberg that said, I don't think he felt this way just a month ago. So I don't know what's happened. You know, apparently Jonah Goldberg left because of Tucker Carlson. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know what's going on.
Wait, Chris Wallace left because of Tucker Carlson?
Well, that's kind of what
Jonah Goldberg
I inferred from Jonah Goldberg's comments. Because he left for that reason, apparently. And so he seemed to be alleging... Yeah, Jonah Goldberg left Fox for that reason because of Tucker Carlson. And now I think he's throwing him into the mix with...
I see now.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Chris Wallace, obviously. But
I think we should remember him, though. I mean,
let's do.
You want to go down memory lane with Chris Wallace?
Let's take a look at his just incredibly illustrious career.
Okay.
You have repeatedly criticized the
the vice president
or at least
for
one
not
segment of
specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm willing
prepared to
do
specifically
that, but
do it? Well, go ahead,
say,
sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do
he
it.
did. He did.
What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a
FBI director.
This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got to be
not
kidding.
malicious.
FBI.
His FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
We're done, sir. We're moving.
Okay. Yeah.
You gonna miss Chris Wallace?
Oh man, that just makes me all misty-eyed right there, doesn't it? You.
But what a shock! He's going to CNN.
Yeah. Plus. So it's online CNN.
Yeah.
He's not even making the main cable network.
But CNN realizes nobody's watching their main channel. Why would they hop over to their streaming channel?
Very, very true. Not to relitigate the whole Trump thing. But my gosh, how many times did he denounce white supremacy and the KKK and whoever else? He didn't even know who Proud Boys. I still barely know who the Proud Boys are. Who are the Proud Boys? What do they do? It's ludicrous. These tiny little groups that they make such a big deal out of, and they never mention Antifa. They never mention the Black Panthers. They never get into any of that.
It's an idea.
It's an idea. Yeah, it's not really an organization.
What's to get into?
Jeez. Unbelievable. So, yeah, good riddance. Good riddance to Chris Wallace.
I thought you said you were getting misty-eyed.
Just for a moment. I'm over it now.
Okay.
I'm kind of over it now.
I see.
I mean, like his father before him, he's a hack for the Democrats. That's what he is. So, good luck at CNN Plus, Chris. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Rough Greens. If you're a dog owner, you know you love your dog and your dog's part of your family and you want the best for them and you want great nutrition for them. Well, they're not getting it if all you feed them is the dry kibble dog food stuff, because those things have been sterilized and all the goodness, the nutritional value in it has been burned out in the sterilization process. That's where Rough Greens comes in. Rough Greens is not dog food. It's a supplement you sprinkle on top of your dog's food, and then they devour that food. Mine certainly does. Belle goes after this like crazy. Glenn's dog loves it. Stu's dog loves it. Now, there is a chance your dog won't like it. So Rough Greens is willing to send you a small bag for free. You just have to pay for the shipping to see if your dog is going to love it like my dog does. So go to roughgreens.com and give it a try. RUFFgreens.com, or you can call 833-ROUGH-DOG. That's 833-783-3364, or roughgreens.com. With some tweets, Harsh Karma tweets those COVID camps in Australia where you have to stay on your 4x6 porch.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of veal cages. Kinda, yeah.
Kinda.
Axis Tech tweets, we won't save the country by getting rid of fossil fuel. What we need to get rid of, the fossils in government.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Dimples, Trump and his ilk, Hillary. What? We got promoted from deplorables?
Nice.
888-900-3393. Oh, you know, we talked about, a couple of months ago, we talked about a kid from South Lake here in Texas.
Yeah.
South Lake Carroll High School. He was the quarterback. He was the number one recruit in the country. Skipped his senior year.
Quinn Ewers.
Graduated early and went to Ohio State because he wanted to take advantage of the NIL, the name, image, likeness situation.
Remember, he graduated early, so he can get up there. And
he did.
Got to take them classes.
And Quinn came out with some pretty decent coinage. He made over $3.5 million.
Woohoo!
almost instantly.
That's incredible.
He did play a couple of snaps. He took 2 snaps, I think, and took a knee. I think they got him into a game once.
I think it was a knee, I think.
And he has since transferred. Thank you very much for the $3.5 million.
Wait a minute.
I'm on my way to Austin, Texas now to play for the University of Texas.
Yeah, so the thought was at the time Ohio was one of the very first states to adopt the NIL in their state. And so he took advantage of that, and now he's heading back home a millionaire. I mean, you talk about...
A millionaire and playing for his favorite team that he grew up
gaming
for.
The system.
Yeah, he
perfectly.
Did. He sure did.
Boy, are they going to do like at the beginning of next season? Going to do like a tribute reel to Ohio State at their first home game,
and show all
the big moments.
Quinn Ewers highlights. Remember when he took the knee this time? Remember that? Wow.
I don't know which one I like better. But
the
then
first or the second? Wow, because the technique was awesome that
pretty
second
good.
time.
See, look, this man in motion on the second one. This is what they've created, right?
Yes, it is what they've created. Yeah. So we're going to have a lot of this kind of stuff.
You can't blame a kid or a family for
for cashing in.
Smart move.
Super smart. Yeah. That's probably why his family lives in South Lake. They're no dummies. Quite successful. And they sent him off to become a millionaire too. So he is now. So that's great. That's wonderful. That's great. Some people would say ABCDEFU for that, but not me. I say good job.
Good job, Quinn.
Way to go.
Smart move.
Speaking of that song, which has swept the country, there is now a country version of that
right.
song. Yeah.
All right.
And here it is.
Hey, let's make ABCDEFU country.
I love this song.
Together since high school, had it all planned out. Even had our names on the water tower.
But then you got too cool, so let me spell it out.
ABCDEFU and your Benz and your new city friends talking about this town. Couldn't wait to get out.
F you, drinking goose and forgetting all your roots. You hated my bird dog. See, you can F all.
Nah, bitch, you stop saying yo. ABCDEFU.
Okay. Bet you stop saying y'all. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
You're not into it, are you?
No, I love it. I love it. That song is really, it's harsh. It's harsh. Do you want your kids listening to it, for instance? Would you like your 13-year-old listen to ABCDEFU?
Probably already is.
Probably?
No.
It's possible.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to think on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, if you're just saying F, right?
Mm-hmm.
Freak you. Isn't that the word we're bleeping there? Freak?
Mm-hmm.
It's freak, right?
Yeah.
What else could it be?
I don't know. Fire truck?
Fire truck you.
Yeah.
See, that's just it. It wouldn't
That
fit.
wouldn't work. That wouldn't really work.
There's too many syllables.
Not really sure.
ABCDE fire truck you. That's why they had to shorten
that doesn't make any sense, does it? Huh. Oh, well. So I don't know. I don't know what other word could be inserted there.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the original song, you'll know. Because they say it maybe 30 times.
How do they get that to fit in there? Fire truck.
I don't know. I don't know. The Minneapolis mayor now and the city council have voted to refund the police. Huh. What?
Neat.
I thought the police were the core problem of society. Following the tragic death, of course, of George Floyd, Minneapolis became the home of the defund the police movement and even contemplating abolishing the police. However, the government of Minneapolis has completely reversed course. What a surprise.
Wow. So
after a near-record crime wave hit the city.
So the criminals didn't stop criminaling?
No, they didn't. No, and that didn't make the city safer.
They told the city, fire truck you?
Yeah, pretty much. Nearly 2 weeks after the death of George Floyd, 9 of the veto-proof council's 13 members began the process of dismantling Minneapolis Police Department.
Wow.
These people should all be. I don't know what the process is for the city council in Minneapolis. If you got an impeachment process, they should all be without jobs now.
Yeah.
At least without council member jobs. This is so asinine. We're here today to begin the process of ending Minneapolis Police Department, creating a new transformative model for cultivating safety in Minneapolis, the council declared in June 2020.
Well, what happened?
Well, days later, they passed a resolution declaring the intent to create a transformative new model for cultivating safety. By September 2020, violent crime spiked, as did property crime. Even arson was up 55%.
God.
At the same time, more than 100 police officers left the department for the first 9 months of 2020. By November 2020, violent carjacking skyrocketed 537%.
Wow.
In February 2021, Minneapolis City Council voted unanimously to approve $6.4 million in additional funding to the police department.
Yeah, they've almost funded it at 100% of what it was before.
Surprise! Yeah. What? Wow. It's
kind of abbreviated, right?
Yeah, very, I'd say.
Right to the point.
Yeah. All right, got some tweets. Coyote. I guess that's like a quixote or coyote or coyote. See, it's coyote.
Oh, I get it now.
It's a play on coyote.
Because Just Too Muck and Fudge
because
made the... Because she goes by Just Too Muck and Fudge as well.
Right.
And it kind of throws you because the image is the little profile pic is of Odie the dog.
Oh, yeah?
So it really messes me up now.
Okay.
Okay.
That vaccine mandate song is my new fave. I need it as a ringtone.
Mm-hmm.
From Rants Out Loud, the Proud Boys are a drinking club of Trump-loving patriots that were sick of seeing Antifa attacking people, so they would show up to be a human barrier between protesting patriots and Antifa thugs. Okay. That's good. Okay. That doesn't seem like white supremacy to me. Maybe it's just me. Hey, I didn't know until Keith just said this off the air. Michael Naismith of the Monkees died over the weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Died on Friday. That stinks.
Wow, we're losing a lot of those rock and roll icons.
Yeah, he just did a show last month, in fact.
Did he?
But so obviously Davy Jones is gone. Peter Tork died in 2019, so we're down to...
Mickey Dolenz would be the last one then.
That's it.
Hey, we're the Monkees. People see us monkey around. We're too busy singing to put anybody down. They're just trying to be friendly. So you should come and watch them sing and play because they're the young generation, not so much anymore. And they've got something to say.
Yeah. Should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
The Monkees?
We've gone over this. Oh my gosh, we have gone over this so many times till I'm blue in the face.
If they put the Monkees in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before Foreigner.
Okay, I didn't say that Foreigner... See, just because I say the Monkees should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has nothing to do with the
Monkees
Foreigner.
should not be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Should not. No. It's a pretend band that was put together for a television show. Okay?
Okay.
You like the Monkees, though.
A lot of great songs, Pat.
Yeah,
a lot more than
true.
95% of the bands that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
With that. Maybe I could be convinced that the Monkees belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Daydream Believer.
Take the Last Train to Clarksville.
Last Train to Clarksville. Steppin' Stone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Believer.
Steppin' Stone.
Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Uh-huh.
A Little Bit Me, a Little Bit You. Valerie. How much longer?
A little bit me and a little bit you. Two.
So,
cool song.
Okay. Michael Naismith, I think, was the first guy to wear these, right? These little stocking caps as a main thing, right?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, who before him was doing that?
I don't know.
Besides, the Gorton's fisherman. Other than him,
he may be the only one.
He may have preceded.
He may have been the trendsetter there. All right. Of course,
sad.
Chris Wallace headed to CNN. And that's where he's going to find CNN producer John Griffin, who's been charged with some sex crimes against children now. CNN employee was charged with 3 counts of using a facility of interstate commerce to attempt to entice underage girls to engage in unlawful sexual activity. John Griffin, 44, was arrested on Friday by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Griffin of Stamford, Connecticut, attempted to persuade parents to allow him to train their underage daughters to be sexually submissive. What?
This is a strange story, Pat.
So he would go to the parents and say, hey, you know what? I'd like to train your teenage daughter to be sexually submissive?
Oh,
Who's going to say yes to that?
This is insanity.
Wow, is that weird? According to the indictment, from April to July of 2020, he utilized the messaging applications Kik and Google Hangouts to communicate with people purporting to be parents of minor daughters, conveying to them, among other ideas, that a woman is a woman regardless of her age, and that women should be sexually subservient and inferior to men.
I keep going, man.
Wow.
It's a rough story.
In June of 2020, Griffin advised a mother of 9 and 13-year-old daughters that the mother's responsibility was to see that her daughter was trained properly. Griffin later transferred over $3,000 to the mother for plane tickets so the mother and her 9-year-old daughter could fly from Nevada to Boston's Logan Airport. The mother and child flew to Boston in July 2020, where Griffin picked them up in his Tesla and drove them to his Ludlow house.
Hang on a second. Wait, stop. Hold on. A producer can afford a Tesla?
I guess so.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. I could use one of those.
At the house, the daughter was directed to engage in and did engage in unlawful sexual activity with the mom there.
What?
I hope the mom's being charged as well.
Right.
Wow, that is nuts. 9 years old?
I can't.
In April 2020, Griffin proposed to engage in a virtual training session over a video chat that would include him instructing the mother and her 14-year-old daughter to remove their clothes and do things. In June of 2020, Griffin proposed to a purported mother of a 16-year-old daughter that she take a little mother-daughter trip to Griffin's house, his ski house, for sexual training involving the child.
Again, a producer has a ski
house and a Tesla. Yeah. He's been at CNN since 2013. Jeez. Meanwhile, people found this tweet from the same guy, John Griffin, back in 2010. Just did the math. We have, count them, 4 stories about people abusing kids today. 3 up now. If we're society's mirror, you people suck.
Wow.
And then he's arrested for this.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, my
The
gosh.
mirror was up, John Griffin.
Oh, my God. What a weird story. That is.
Been watching the old CNN this morning.
You haven't seen it?
Haven't quite seen an update or even a mention of this. So
no kidding.
They'll get on it.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Leave it for the afternoon crew
Yeah,
once
yeah.
we have the initial court hearing. I'm sure that's what they're waiting for, more details.
Wow, that is outrageous. And who are these mothers who would do this to their daughters?
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you about ExpressVPN. Going online without ExpressVPN is like changing while leaving your window wide open. You might not have anything to hide, but why give random creeps a chance to invade your privacy? When you go online without a VPN, internet service providers can see every single website you visit, and you might not be visiting anything bad, but what they do is they can find all that information and legally sell it without your consent. And that's what they do. They sell it to ad companies and tech giants who use your data to target you. It's a nightmare and a massive nuisance. So when you use ExpressVPN, ISPs can't see your online activity. Your identity is anonymized by a secure VPN server. Your data is also encrypted for maximum protection. Even if whatever you're sending to somebody else, even if they don't have encryption, it's still encrypted. Easy to use. It's you just fire up the app, you click one button, you're there. And it works on all devices, phones, laptops, routers, so everybody who shares your Wi-Fi can be protected. Secure your online activity by visiting expressvpn.com/unleashed today. expressvpn.com/unleashed. And you can get an extra 3 months for free. expressvpn.com/unleashed.
What happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, this is kind of scary. Americans, a huge majority of Americans, are in favor of having to show your papers for your vaccination status.
Oh, no.
Omicron isn't causing Americans to cancel plans this holiday season, which look to be a social one, in part because the vaccinated are at least somewhat confident they're protected from the virus. Well, unless you've listened to the show today, and then you know you're not. You're not protected at all against Omicron, at least according to the Israeli findings.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean they're shrugging off the threat, though, but rather they believe there are ways to mitigate it. It's the vaccinated in particular who want to see proof of vaccination required for things people might like to do, like getting on planes and entering public venues. And they overwhelmingly feel everyone shares a responsibility to help stop the spread of the virus. Great.
Give us 25 states. You can pick them. Just seriously, just pick 25 states that you don't want, that we can make our own rules in that don't involve vaccine passports, that involve natural rights, and we'll take whatever 25. I don't care.
According to the CBS News poll, confident vaccine protects you from serious illness and variants? Very confident, 28%. Somewhat confident, 57%. Not very confident at all, 14%. Most report planning to gather with friends and family, shop and travel in some way, among other activities. Have you canceled plans because of Omicron? 81 to 19, no. Over the holiday season, are you planning to gather with family and friends? 68% yes. Shop in person, 64%. Travel by car, 56%. Dine out at a restaurant, 52%. Most Americans support the idea of proof of vaccination required for air travel and for the workplace. And those numbers rise among the vaccinated, of course, most of whom would also look for proof required at stores and venues, too. The unvaccinated, perhaps not surprisingly, oppose those ideas. Should we require proof of vaccination to get on an airplane? The vaccinated, 75%. 75% yes. Everybody, vaccinated or non, 61. Still 61%.
What?
61.
So that, these numbers don't add up.
Go to a workplace. The vaccinated, 67% think you should be required to have proof. 53% of everybody. Go to a store or restaurant. 58% of vaccinated think yes, you should, and 45% overall. Those are high numbers.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened to Americans? My gosh, they've been fear-mongered into just being willing to completely give up their liberty for their security.
25 states. Pick us 25 states. We'll take whichever ones.
With boosters being encouraged against the variant, most vaccinated people, 7 in 10, say they plan to get boosted if they aren't already. Among those who are very concerned about Omicron but haven't gotten a booster, that rises to nearly 9 out of 10.
The future's bright, huh?
It's bright.
Right?
In all, Americans collectively show a slightly less intense level of concern over Omicron than they did for Delta last summer. And they should, because it's apparently much milder. Concern about COVID variants, very concerned about Omicron, 17%. 24% were concerned about Delta. Somewhat concerned, 41 to 38. Not very concerned at all, 42-38. Those are better numbers, but still, come on.
This is a warning story, is it not?
It is.
So we have this new this lamp that you'd see at like a hockey arena. I wonder if this is we're trying to figure out what are we going to use this thing for. I just plugged it in, and I don't know. Maybe this is a good time to turn it on, because when we get like maybe a warning story of what's to come, maybe that's the prudent thing to do, is to say, yeah, this is a warning sign for the future.
Whoop, whoop.
Yep. Can you hold that up for the old camera there? Look at there. There we go. It's no.
Hooked on something.
You're good.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I think it's hooked on the outlet.
Whoop.
There it is. Americans think you should have, in overwhelming numbers.
Oh boy.
A passport to get onto planes and whatnot.
Can we see your papers, please? And they're fine with that, despite the fact that so many Americans understand what that means, understand the history involved.
Do they?
I think so.
Okay.
I think everybody's pretty clear about what the Nazis did, right? I think, may I see your papers, please, has been in enough movies to where even if you're not familiar with history, you're familiar with movies. And you should...
Documentaries that you went to a theater to see.
You should be afraid. Very, very afraid. But they're not, I guess. They're not of losing their freedom. Jeez. It's just incredible. It's incredible.
We're out of words.
Seriously.
To describe where we are and where we're headed.
And again, in South Africa, their scientists are saying there's no sign that the Omicron coronavirus variant is causing more severe illness. As officials plan to roll out vaccine boosters with daily infections approaching an all-time high. South Africa alerted the world of Omicron late last month, prompting alarm that the highly mutated variant could trigger a new surge. Well, and apparently it is doing that. But there is literally one case of an American being hospitalized from this, right? With a serious illness. They're in serious condition, I think.
Yep.
Although scientists say more time is needed to arrive at a definitive conclusion, Health Minister Joe Wallace said the signs on severity were very positive. Preliminary data does suggest that while there's increasing rate of hospitalization, it looks like it's purely because of the numbers rather than a result of any severity of the variant itself.
So is it time to drop the travel restrictions from the 7 African nations, or are we going to keep rolling with the xenophobia, Joe?
That's a good question. Apparently, I think we're going to keep rolling with xenophobia for a while.
Going to try that for a little bit longer?
Yeah, let's try it out, see how it fits.
I mean, that's what it is, right? I mean,
that's what it was when Trump did it. So,
right. According to them,
with fewer nations involved, in fact, on the African continent.
Okay.
So I don't know. You tell me. The world is upside down, though, so who knows? Who knows? New York City just passed a law allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections.
Can we destroy our nation any other way?
Well, the answer is yes. Yes, we can. There's more ways.
Are there more ways still?
Yeah, there's more ways.
I'm afraid to ask how many.
Don't ask because there's a lot, and they're going to do it.
25 states. We just say, you pick 25 states, we'll take them. No questions asked.
No, but we're keeping Texas, no matter what. Texas is non-negotiable.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Texas is non-negotiable. Keep it. New York City Council passed a bill Thursday allowing nearly, get this, 800,000 non-citizens, but legal residents of the city. So I guess they're here on visas or whatever, green cards. But they're going to be allowed to cast a ballot in local elections. The law was passed by the Democrat-controlled council 33-14, making New York City the largest city in the nation to approve such a measure. The bill will extend voting rights to nearly every non-citizen who's resided in the city for at least 30 whole days.
So their family goes back generations.
Yeah. Yeah, generations to a whole month ago. How old were you a month ago?
Boy, don't test my memory like that, Pat. Not on the fly like this.
Legal non-citizens of New York City will now be able to vote in the city elections of mayor, public advocate, borough president, city council. They will not, however, be allowed to cast a ballot in state or federal elections. 2021, we're writing another chapter. So eventually, this will go to state and federal. Why wouldn't it? There's obviously, to them, there's nothing wrong with non-citizens voting. It's madness. It's absolute, total, and complete madness. But it just keeps spinning out of control. Apparently, RFK Jr.'s family, or RFK's family, is speaking out on the release of Sirhan. 53 Decembers ago, members of the Kennedy family gathered for their first Christmas without Robert Kennedy. Ethel, his wife, was just home from the hospital, introducing the family to the newest member of the Kennedy clan, Rory. She was born 6 months after her father's assassination. Her brothers and sisters have vague memories of that Christmas. My mom was a single mother of 11 children, age 16 to infant, who had just watched her husband be killed, Carrie Kennedy said. She's tough. She's the toughest person I've ever met. Carrie Kennedy was just 9. Chris was only 4. What sticks are fuzzy images, brief glimpses of their father, moments like that, and the future ones were lost when a 24-year-old assassin named Sirhan took it all away. Carrie said, all those times when you want your father, when my brother David died, where's my dad? When my brother Michael died, where's my dad? When I got married and walked down that aisle alone. So apparently, now we were led to believe in the beginning that the RFK family was perfectly fine with this. Like they're good. What do you mean? They think he should be released. They never thought he should be convicted in the first place. It was almost that bad. And now we're finding out, not everybody's on board with it. During the spring of 1968, New York Senator Robert Kennedy had been campaigning in California for, of course, the Democratic presidential nomination. Rowan asked, when he was running, do you remember the crowds? Do you remember his supporters? I remember the crowds, Chris said. Yes, lots and lots of crowds. He had a war he wanted to end. He had pain he wanted to heal in our country. And that was taken away from all of us, not just Chris and me, but you and everybody in this audience. So they're not on board with Sirhan being let go after all these years. Now, he was initially given the death sentence, and then they commuted that to life in prison. And now he's just out. So congratulations on that. 53 years is a long time, but is that enough time for assassinating somebody, for murdering someone? I don't know that it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Apparently, he's never expressed remorse. He's never said he was sorry to the families. He's never been asked for forgiveness. None of that. So they're a little irritated by this, as you can imagine.
Yeah, when you think of a political assassination such as that, you think of the trajectory of a nation. Like, where would we be? Like, would he have been elected president? Then what would have happened in this nation? What track would we have been on? But you don't stop to think, like you just went through all of the familial situations and milestones that they've experienced without him. And it's just devastating.
Yeah, it's really sad. Really very sad. But, because of the way we're going right now with releasing inmates from prison, that seems to be the trajectory we're on, is that when there's any doubt, we're just going to let them out. And even if there is doubt, we're going to let them out.
Yeah, and many municipalities, of course, ask Minneapolis how that's going, cutting funding for police at the same time they're releasing people from prison.
Yeah.
For any kind of excuse, COVID-related or whatever. And you wonder, why is the crime spiking in all these cities?
In Los Angeles, the head of the police officers union there has said, don't come to Los Angeles as a tourist. We can't guarantee your safety. That's how bad it is.
And you said this was for Venezuela?
No, no.
What did you say this was
again?
No,
this Los Angeles, California.
The police chief
police union.
of Caracas.
Police union head
police
in
union.
Los Angeles.
In Caracas?
No, in Los Angeles, California, United States of America.
Sounds like you're saying Los Angeles.
I know. I am. I am. Yeah, he said, don't come. Can't guarantee your safety.
Don't come.
And then Gavin Newsom has the unmitigated gall.
Oh, this guy.
To say anything about Texas. We'll have to get to this tomorrow because it's outrageous.
Yeah.
You will not believe it. And yet it happened. So have a great day. We will see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.